Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another hot day in Belize. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to talk to you guys about two things that I learned when I was very young. Two things that are important for survival, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. There's it really doesn't matter. If you ask me, in my opinion, it doesn't matter who gets into office, whether it's a Republican or Democrat. Everything is screwed up. The country is divided. And that's why I believe that it doesn't matter who gets into office. Things are, in my opinion, just going to get worse. So enough of that, because I don't like to get really political. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting up some papaya, because on hot days, papaya is really cheap here, and it's full of vitamins and everything else. So I really like to give this to my flock on hot days. I keep it in the fridge, and then when that time comes, I bring it out here, cut it up, and give it to them. I'm going to show you how these guys go completely nuts over that. So I wanted to show you this, I wanted to show you guys this first before I get into the meat and potato of the videos, about two things that I learned at a very young age from my grandfather, that the way things are going in this world, if you ask me, that you absolutely need to survive. But before we do that, come on, follow me. We're going to go feed the flock some papaya. So it's always good to have chickens on hand, if you ask me. A long time ago, actually it wasn't that long ago, back in the 30s and 40s in the United States, the government sent out flyers that they recommended that everybody have chickens in their backyard. You won't find that anymore. But you can see right here, this is important. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. This never gets old. I gotta try not to step on them, because they will take over if you let them. They will absolutely take over. If I keep this flock on Corid, I keep them dewormed once a month, I keep them healthy. They provide us with meat and with eggs. And I got some more in the coop that are brooding right now. Got some more eggs in the incubator. But this is the flock that I'm starting with that will continue to produce for us here on the homestead. Let's go take a look at the quail. I haven't showed you guys the quail in a while, which the quail have been doing really well. We've already started to cull and eat the quail. We just ate some the other day, and that actually came out really good. So I'll let you guys see and hear how well we're doing with the quail. I wouldn't recommend just letting it open, but I've been working with these guys for a while. So let me see if we got any eggs over here. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs so far. We get most of our eggs towards the evening time from these quail. So these are our breeders that are up top here. And then these are the ones that are going to be coming along. These are the babies down here. So we get the eggs, we hatch them, we put them in here. When they get to where they can be cold, then we get them ready and we eat them. So yeah, lots of stuff going on around here. We're getting ready to do some sheep. Getting ready to try my hands at tilapia too. So, but it's important, in my opinion, this day and age, to be able to know how to do stuff like this, especially, you know, disease is a big thing. You have to make sure that your flock stays healthy. You can't just bring birds from outside somewhere and introduce them to your flock. Once you have your breeder flock, the flock that you start with, I recommend that those are the ones that you stay with and you keep them healthy. Your life's going to be so much more easier than having to deal with diseases that poultry and quail and other things get all the time. So it's a process. So hope you guys enjoyed just a brief look around the homestead, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So two things that I was told by my grandfather when I was little, and I mean when I was little, but he kept reiterating, he would tell me this over and over and over and over again. And I know you probably heard these before, but I'm going to give you a different example on these two. So the two most important things that you need to survive, in my opinion, no matter where you go, if it's where you're at right now, or even if you're going to move abroad, just like we're doing here, the two most important things that you're going to need to survive are going to be food and water. And I know what you're saying. You're like, oh, we've heard this a million times. But let me tell you my perspective on why, maybe break it down to you a little bit differently. So why is food and water, especially living abroad, so important? So the one thing that my grandfather kept instilling in my head when I was younger is there's two things that you don't ever have to sell in life. You got salesmen for everything: cars, real estate, houses, animals. There's two things that sell themselves. Think about that for a minute. There's two things that you do not have to sell. They sell themselves. That is food and that is water. You can set up a stand on the side of the road with food and water, and you don't have to, get out there with a sign and flail around and stuff. People will come for it. It's important. Now really let that sink in and think about that for a minute. There's two things that you do not have to sell. That is food and that is water. So that's the first aspect of survival. Is if things come down to a barter system, let me tell you what, your flashy car, your flashy boat, your flashy TV, your flashy this, whatever. The main thing that's going to be used for bartering. So let's say that I have food and I have water, but I don't have fuel, or I don't have a horse, or I don't have a donkey, something like that. The food that I have, the food that I produce, can be used to barter, because cash isn't going to be worth anything. And this is why it's important, because you don't have to sell it, and you can actually use it if you have it to get what you need. And I'm not talking about food in a bunker, because, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you have food in a bunker or food in a box in the ground and stuff, that food's going to run out. You need to have sustainable food like we have here. You need to have food that provides for you, maybe make you a little bit of money, and you'll be able to barter with. The reason why I decided to do this video is because I have a lot of people ask me, besides on top of Social Security or a pension or savings, maybe how can you make a little bit of extra money when you're either living in Belize, or if you're living somewhere else that isn't your home country. Food is going to be one of those things. You don't have to sell it. And the great thing about it, if Joe Schmo wants to buy a chicken from me, I'm going to sell him a chicken. So things like that, you really have to keep in mind. And most of the expats that I know that are not just living abroad, but thriving abroad, have something to do with food. Absolutely. And I'm not talking about having a restaurant. They are providing, it could be jams, cheeses, milk, poultry, eggs, fish, tomatoes, potatoes, anything, something. The people who are living abroad, off-grid, homesteading, who want to get away from it all, if they have a sustainable food source that is creating more food for them are thriving. And like I said, you can make some income with it and you can use it to barter with. I see it all the time here in Central America. Food is used to barter with. You really don't see it in the States, but here in Central America, absolutely. People will barter with food. People will trade a TV for food. Or if somebody that has food and they want a TV, they will trade. Absolutely. So keep that in mind. Two things that you never have to sell: food and water. I don't recommend giving water away because water is life. You can go a lot longer without food than you can water. So if you're doing the doomsday prep, and I'm not saying do that, but if that's in your head, you need to keep your water for yourself, in my opinion. But food can be used to keep you alive, and it can also be used to barter with, and it can make you a little bit of money abroad. So it's just food for thought. Like I said, a lot of people ask me what they can kind of do wherever they go to do something. I can't make it any more clear for you. Food is the one thing on this planet that you do not have to sell. It sells itself. People will come for it. There's that old saying that when the end of times comes, somebody will kill you for a slice of bread. I wonder why that is. Because it sells itself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got a lot more videos coming out. Remember, two things that you never have to sell. It always sells itself: food and water. You can use it as an income and a bartering system no matter where you go in this world. Hope you guys got some information out of this video. Information is power. Stay blessed. Got lots more stuff coming up for you. Thanks for watching, everyone.